My name is Chef Alessandro Serni. I was born in Barcelona, grew up in Tuscany. So I pretty much come from two of the best countries that we can taste some of the best foods in the world. My heritage is Mediterranean food. And today we're gonna do a dish with salmon, strict Mediterranean flavors. The first thing to do will be to seed a pomegranate. Pomegranate is a seeded fruit original from the Middle East. It's full of calcium, full of potassium. It's very good for your bones, for your eyes, for your ears, actually. This is a beautiful, mature pomegranate. We try to find the soft spot. You can see, softer. This is a little harder. So at this point, we're gonna practice an incision, just the tip of the knife, from the top to the bottom. You're gonna see some juice in there, don't worry. Pomegranate is famous to create a lot of, so to speak, mess, because it has a lot of juice. But doing so, you will see that the splashes of juices will be limited. It's much easier to clean the pomegranate like this. It has a tart flavor, but you adjust it. It's a tart and sweet. See, very important, you remove the skins. When you see not a lot of skin in the pomegranate, you just gently open it, fold it, push from the skin towards the inside of the pomegranate. You will see at this point all the seeds falling down regularly. As you can see, we're not creating a lot of splashes, which we want to have the whole seeds, because we're gonna do a dressing or emulsion. Some of the seeds we're gonna keep them for garnish. Just don't squeeze it, gently remove them. You will feel it when it's the moment to bend the skin. You see it just opens by itself, and you have done a wonderful job keeping clean. I wanna show you now. If you do this, we'll break and we create a lot of unnecessary juices. So at this point, you can do 6 regular cuts around the pomegranate. Pretty much you want to cut it in 6 segments or little wedges. You see? Excellent. We have the seeds. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to the next step. We're going to take some of the garlic and the shallot. The garlic, we're going to crush it. You can do it with the knife, or better, safer, just remove the knife on the side and you just press it. We're gonna slice some of these. Now we're gonna slice the shallot, which we're gonna use later. Be careful when you do this. Always put the fingers on the side, never like this, because you can cut the tip off. Just be careful. Okay, you can cut it any way you like it. I just like to cut it the regular sideways. The most important is to keep the tip of the knife. It needs to gently touch the tip of the finger, this part of the bone of the finger, not the nail. So you never get cut. You see, it touches gently. The nail stays back, holds the ingredient, in this case the shallot, and you just go down and slice it gently. Always go from back to front. Just take your time, don't go fast. You will go fast when you practice a lot. The next step is gonna be the pomegranate emulsion. We will put some pomegranate seeds on the side for later. This is just enough. We'll bring the orange juice, we'll bring the sugar, the white pepper, extra virgin olive oil, and the salt. Pink Himalayan sea salt, very flavorful. Salty, be careful when you use it. We're just gonna place the pomegranate seeds. We're gonna add the orange juice. We're gonna add the sugar, about a coffee spoon. We're gonna add some salt, just a little bit in the beginning, so we can fix the flavor later. And we're gonna get some extra virgin olive oil. This is a California organic olive oil. Beautiful flavor, beautiful color. Now we're gonna blend all together. Doing so, you're creating the air bubbles in an emulsion, which creates the consistency. Beautiful. Now we're gonna save the emulsion. There we go. This is ready. Okay, for the next step, we're gonna take some of the olives and we're gonna start cutting the olives in half. Again, be careful when you handle a knife. These olives are coming from Sicily. They are Castelvetrano olives. They're very aromatic, very sweet. Okay, so these are the olives that we're gonna be for the coulis. We can move forward to the cooking section now. Hi, so now we're gonna start with some butter. We're gonna wait until the butter will melt. Once the butter starts slowly melting, we're gonna add some white onion. You can use red onion, you can use blonde onions, preferences. A little shallots. Shallots is a family of onions and garlic. It's mixed. Now we're gonna do some sliced garlic, and we're just gonna wait until it melts and it starts cooking slowly. Now we're gonna add a sprig of thyme, which will give a great amount of flavor. you can see the butter is melting already. And now you can start smelling the onion, the garlic, the shallot. Soon you're gonna start smelting the thyme. You're gonna remove the water from the potatoes. And now you can see how the butter starts bubbling. At this point you have to mix it. Now we're gonna add some of the white pepper, a little bit, so the flavor will be integrated since the beginning. When you see the gold color, put the potatoes. Okay, now when you see then it starts cooking literally, now we're gonna add the cream. We're gonna add a little water. I would say 4 tablespoons of water added on. Now this will be just cooking. We're just gonna let it be. Keep an eye on it because once it starts boiling, you have to mix it. Okay, now we can go to the Castelvetrano olives. These olives will go in the little saute pan. We're gonna turn on the fire on the medium again, about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Don't be shy. Okay, at this point, we're gonna add some shallots, sliced shallots, a little bit, and we're gonna add the garlic with the skin on. A little onion again, and we're gonna start slowly frying. Now we can add some couple of parsley sprigs, not too much. You see, now you're gonna start hearing the music of the heating. You know, it's beautiful. Okay, at this point, we're gonna put a little bit of paprika just before we put the olives. Just a touch. We don't wanna cook the paprika too much, but this is the secret. You melt it. So when you see then everything becomes that orangey, beautiful golden color, you're gonna add the olives. You're gonna add some black pepper to it. Don't be shy. See, olives will come shiny. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna look at the inside of the olives, you're gonna see it. It takes a very, very few minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. You see, now we see this is boiling. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna lower the flame and we're gonna uncover it and gently mix it. See? Very good. We're gonna cover it again so it starts boiling quickly. And now we go back to the olives. And as soon as you feel then the olives, they lightly stick to the pan, this preparation is ready. At this point, you remove them from the heat. They don't need any more fire to it. But what we're gonna do is a very important step. We're gonna take the garlic with the skin off. The aroma is there. We don't need the garlic anymore. So we let it rest a little bit. So when it becomes more room temperature, we can put it in the blender to mix them. Now we're gonna add a little more olive oil, about 3-4 spoons. And this is ready to go. We're gonna put it away now. So you're gonna use a strainer if you prefer, or in this case, I'm using a perforated spoon just to put the potatoes. Try to remove as much as liquid you can. You're gonna see the branches of the thyme. The leaves, leave them in, it's okay, but the branches, they need to stay in the pot. Now with a spoon, we're gonna just add a little cream to it. The puree is done. Now we're gonna taste it. Salt and pepper will go in. Very good. Now we're gonna transfer it. Okay, now we're gonna cook the salmon. The salmon comes from the Scottish land. We put a little pepper to start, with a little salt. This salmon is skin on. I prefer to keep it skin on for flavor-wise. About 5 tablespoons of olive oil. We're gonna place the salmon belly down, and it's gonna be skinned up. And now we're gonna add a little sprig of thyme right on top of it, and we're gonna season the skin. Couple of tomatoes into it. You can see how the color of the salmon is changing already, it's caramelizing, searing. Well, we based pretty much salmon with the oil. We just pour it on top of the skin to give more flavor to it. Same oil you have in the pan. Doesn't take long. We're gonna cook a medium rare to medium. You can look at the salmon to look at the color. As you can see, it's becoming beautiful color. Still a little more. And we can keep basting a little bit. So we can flip. Now we can flip the second salmon. keep the thyme on it for the flavor. And the tomatoes are getting beautifully slowly roasted. Now we can flip them so we can caramelize the stem a little bit. Excellent. Now we're going to add a little bit of butter to it. Always at the very end, you're going to help the butter melt. And now we're going to start basting again on the salmon. You see the butter will change the color of the preparation, become more golden. At this point, you can turn it off. Once it's done, you want to remove the salmon from the pan. This is ready for now. The next will be the plating. And now we do the plating of the Scottish salmon. It's sticky, but that's the beauty of the ingredient. Then we're going to place the salmon right into it. In the Castelvetrano olive puree, you're going to see some oil. You need to keep it with the presentation because it's going to go right on the puree. Let the oil go. We're going to place some garnishes. We're going to have some of the pomegranate seeds going into the puree. We're going to get some sprigs of watercress. We're going to place it on the side of the salmon and the radishes, some radish sprigs. We're going to take one of the tomatoes with the stem, and it's going to be one of the garnishes for the salmon. And that will be the salmon with pomegranate, a coulis of Castelvetrano olives, the radishes, the roasted tomato, and the watercress for garnish. And now we get to taste it, right? It's a very clean dish, very aromatic, sweet, savory, spicy from the watercress and from the radish sprouts. When you get into the olives with the salmon, it's an incredible combination. It's like going from olive trees of the hills down to the ocean. The smell, it's beautiful, very light. It's a very enjoyable plate. From the beautiful California to the rest of the world, enjoy the lunch. Thank you so much. Buon appetito.